Season's greetings from Paul Levy here at FringeReview, and I'm just outside the Bush Theatre, which is one of many Fringe theatres in London here in the UK. And as you'll find with a lot of places, there's not just a theatre here, there's often a place to meet. There's often cafes in Fringe theatres all across London. There are Fringe theatres all across the world. Fringe is hard to define for some people, but essentially it sits on the fringe of a mainstream, where mainstreams have tended to become expensive, sometimes middle class. They've made efforts, some of the venues, to create at least some affordability for some of their tickets. But mainstream is everything in London from the West End. You can go and see your musicals. You can see some edgy theatre there too, and you'll see edgy work in a lot of bigger theatres. I come from Brighton, that's where FringeReview was born, and you'll find that the Theatre Royal, for example, has really taken a big step over recent years in also putting on some really interesting and different theatre, and not collapsing sometimes by necessity into just being tribute shows, which has been what a lot of venues have been forced to do just to stay alive, and comedy and stand-up and that kind of thing. And there's nothing wrong with that, other than Fringe theatre has a huge role to play in sitting on the edges of mainstream politics, mainstream society, and poking at it and challenging it and questioning it and offering alternatives. And that's, for me, literally what Fringe means. It can also, though, mean sitting on the fringe of that mainstream in terms of affordability, and you can often come and see shows that are at least closer to affordability in Fringe venues. They are theatres in their own right. They are converted community centres. They are upstairs in many pubs. There's, I think, well more than 50 of them in London. And so this is an invitation from all of us here at FringeReview to come and see some more Fringe theatre, whether it's at Fringe festivals or year-round, as the Fringe scene is in London and other cities around the world. Come and see more Fringe. Come and see the edgy work. Come and see the creativity that sits on the fringes of mainstream society and challenges it, questions it, offers something different. Now, that's not to say that all Fringe is like that. You can also just get entertained. Sometimes Fringe simply means doing mainstream work, doing those musicals, doing stand-up, doing all kinds of work that's just closer again to lower budgets, but that doesn't mean lower budget means lower quality. I think Fringe creates accessibility for people taking their first steps into theatre, coming out of drama schools, experimenting, not just doing theatre, but fusing theatre with film, dance, circus, all kinds of other kinds of work. You can see a lot of improv at Fringe. Comedy's taken over in some ways at big festivals like the Edinburgh Fringe, but there is still a lot of Fringe work hidden in there, in those smaller venues. Small can be beautiful. Something you'll notice is quite often you're closer to the stage. You'll find that the performers are in the bars afterwards, that there are after-show discussions, that there are workshops around Fringe theatre as well. Particularly the ones upstairs in a pub, you can come down and have a drink and just talk about the work afterwards. Of course, that again does happen on the West End, but it's just a bit harder when scale is so much higher. Human scale for me is what Fringe is about. You'll often find new writing here. You'll often find premieres of work that might go bigger, and they go off West End or off Broadway, and maybe find their ways into those bigger venues in the future. And you were there at the start of their journey. I'm here in Shepherd's Bush. I'm here at the Bush Theatre. This part of London is waking up. It's just before Christmas, so I guess the market is going to hopefully have some of its busiest days. So an invitation during this break at Christmas, particularly after Christmas. It can be a lean time for everybody, but if you can look at some of the offers, sometimes 2 for 1 are there. Sometimes there's affordability at the start of a run. Come and support Fringe Theatre. You can probably see here this one's been entertaining since 2012. Since 1972. Tickets from £15. Bar and cafe open. So if you've got the money, at least once this year, go and be disrupted. Go and be challenged. Go and question and enjoy some Fringe theatre. FringeReview, that's what we're all about. We wish you a happy season, whatever you're celebrating or just having a break. It's a cold morning here, but not cold enough for snow. Happy season. See you in the new year from all at Fringe Review. Go support some Fringe theatre in 2026.